Attention passionate Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Cleveland Browns' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Cleveland Browns fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Cleveland, BROWNS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the Cleveland Browns closely this offseason, you know that the team has been in the spotlight for a lot of reasons. Sure, training camp and joint practices against teams like the Philadelphia Eagles have been intense, physical, and revealing in many ways. But there's one story that has been lingering, one that has Browns fans a bit on edge. That's the injury status of Greg Newsome II, the talented cornerback who's been a key part of Cleveland's secondary since he was drafted in 2021. Newsome's absence from practice sessions, especially at this crucial stage of training camp, has raised eyebrows and questions about how the Browns are managing their defensive depth. See, the Browns' defense, under the guidance of defensive coordinator Joe Woods, has been built around aggressive man coverage schemes, which rely heavily on having healthy, reliable cornerbacks. Newsome, a first-round pick in 2021, has shown flashes of brilliance since arriving in Cleveland. He's quick, athletic, and has the instincts that make him a nightmare for opposing receivers. But now, with him sidelined due to a shoulder injury, the entire secondary faces additional pressure. This injury comes at a particularly unfortunate time because Cleveland has already faced adversity this preseason. Head coach Kevin Stefanski has been cautious with Newsome, and rightly so, given the importance of keeping him healthy for the regular season. His injury history, combined with the recent season-ending Achilles injury to Martin Emerson Jr., has created a bit of a crisis in the Browns' defensive backfield. Stefanski has been clear that Newsome's status is day-to-day, but the fact remains that he's not participating fully in team drills. ESPN's Daniel Oyefusi reported that Newsome will continue to be limited and won't be taking part much in the joint practices against the Eagles. This is significant because these joint practices are a crucial part of the preseason, giving players a chance to test their skills against different opponents in a competitive environment. Missing out on those reps can sometimes impact a player's readiness or timing, especially for someone like Newsome, who is still trying to regain full sharpness after last season's injuries. It's worth noting that Newsome missed the preseason opener against Carolina, and his participation has been restricted mostly to individual drills during camp. The Browns are taking no chances, especially with the upcoming season on the horizon. His limited practice time is not just a minor setback, it's a concern for a team that has high hopes for their defense, which is expected to be a cornerstone of Cleveland's overall success. The coaching staff, led by Stefanski and defensive coordinator Joe Woods, are carefully monitoring his recovery. They want to strike a balance, getting him enough reps to be ready, but not risking further injury before the games count. Now, let's talk about the impact of Newsome's absence. The secondary has already been tested this offseason, not only because of Emerson's injury, but also because of the depth issues that have surfaced. Cameron Mitchell has stepped up in his place, impressing coaches with his readiness and competitive spirit. Cleveland's coaches have praised Mitchell's work ethic and ability to step into a larger role, but the reality is that nothing replaces the experience and consistency that Newsome brings. He's a key player in their man coverage schemes, and his ability to shut down top receivers is a vital part of Cleveland's defensive identity. This injury timing couldn't be worse for Newsome personally, as he's entering the final year of his rookie contract. It's make-or-break time for him to establish himself as a cornerstone of the Browns' defense. His performance this season could determine his future in Cleveland, whether he'll be a long-term fixture or someone whose injuries have hampered his career trajectory. Fans are surely hoping he recovers fully and quickly because his talent is undeniable. When healthy, he's one of the best young cornerbacks in the league, capable of shadowing the opponent's top receiver and making game-changing plays. The Browns' defensive philosophy relies heavily on aggressive coverage, which means that when Newsome is on the field, opponents often find it difficult to complete passes in his zone. This makes his health even more critical, especially as the team prepares for a schedule that includes some tough matchups early in the season. The upcoming games against AFC North rivals like the Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens will be intense battles, and having a fully healthy Newsome could be the difference maker in tight contests. In addition to Newsome, we should also keep an eye on how the rest of the secondary is shaping up. Cleveland's coaching staff continues to evaluate their options, trying to find the best combinations to cover for injuries and maximize their defensive potential. Cameron Mitchell has been praised for his progress, but everyone knows that the depth in the cornerback room is tested. If Newsome's recovery doesn't go as smoothly as hoped, the Browns will need to rely on other players, possibly moving some safeties down to cover or adjusting their schemes to compensate. It's a delicate balancing act, but the Browns' coaching staff is experienced in managing such situations. Looking ahead, fans are naturally anxious to see Newsome back on the field, especially as the regular season gets closer. The team has been emphasizing cautious optimism, knowing how much is at stake. The preseason is a crucial time for players to build chemistry and get comfortable with their assignments, but it's also a time of risk. Overexertion or rushing back too soon can lead to setbacks, which the Browns definitely want to avoid. The coaching staff's focus is on getting him ready for the opener, but without rushing the process. Now, when we look at Cleveland's overall outlook, it's clear that their defense is poised to be a strength, provided that key players like Newsome are healthy. The team's offseason moves, draft picks, and strategic focus on defensive schemes all point to a season where they aim to compete at a high level. The offense has been steady, with Deshaun Watson leading the charge, but it's the defense that could truly take the team to the next level. The secondary, with players like Newsome, is vital in that equation. If he can recover fully and regain his form, the Browns will have a formidable unit that can challenge anyone. But let's not forget, the NFL is unpredictable. Injuries are part of the game, and managing them effectively can often be the difference between a good season and a great one. Cleveland's coaching staff has shown they're adept at adjusting on the fly, but the players' health will always be the ultimate factor. The fans are hopeful, and rightly so, because this team has the talent and potential to make a deep playoff run. They've been building toward this moment for years, and now, with the season approaching, every practice rep, every game, and every recovery effort counts. In the end, the story of Greg Newsome this preseason is a microcosm of the Browns' journey, a mix of talent, resilience, strategic caution, and hope. Fans are rallying behind him, wishing for a swift and full recovery so he can help lead Cleveland's defense into a new era of success. The upcoming weeks will be critical, and the team's ability to adapt without him temporarily will be tested. But if there's one thing Browns fans know, it's that their team never gives up, and this season promises to be an exciting chapter in their ongoing quest for greatness. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUB algorithm to keep recommending the latest Cleveland Browns news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Cleveland Browns fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on the Newsome injury situation? Do you think he'll be ready in time for the season opener? How do you see the secondary shaping up if he's sidelined for a few more weeks? Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Your opinions matter so much to us and to the Browns. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for all the latest Cleveland Browns news, analysis, and insights. This team is on the rise, and every piece of news, every player story, adds to the excitement. Keep supporting your Browns, because we're all in this together, and the best is yet to come.